I have a very important message for everyone about the biblical character of Paul. Did you know there is no historical record at all that in any way references Paul from the first century? You have been told that Paul wrote some letters prior to his death in the 60s, but there's actually not an ounce of evidence that this is true. The biblical book of Acts indicates that Paul was a prominent Jew who lived prior to the first Roman-Jewish war, but there is no other historical record that corroborates this claim. We do not have any manuscripts or references to any of the Pauline letters in the entire first century. Josephus would have been a contemporary with Paul, but Josephus never mentions Paul or Saul of Tarsus in any way. The first person to ever mention Paul or reference letters written by Paul was Marcion of Sinope in 140 CE. Christians foolishly assume that anything in the Bible is infallible truth from God himself, but that's not the way you determine truth. The main point of all of Paul's letters in the Bible is that Christianity is an update or revision to Judaism. When you look at real history from the 1st and 2nd century Roman Empire, you find out that the Jews were in constant rebellion against the Roman Empire. Paul, in your Bible, claims to be a Roman citizen who is in opposition with the Jewish people. The book of Romans in your Bible proclaims to be Paul writing to his beloved friends in Rome. And in Romans chapter 11, he talks about the fall of Israel and the Jewish people. The Jewish temple in Jerusalem did not fall until the year 70 CE, but Paul was supposed to be dead by then. So how could Paul write about something that didn't happen until after he died? People cannot write letters after they die. So when a scholar tells you that Paul wrote the book of Romans, they are simply lying. And they have good reason to lie because they make their living from the Bible. There is no evidence that Paul or the book of Romans existed in the 1st century, but there is evidence that the book of Romans was written after the fall of Israel in 70 CE. Christianity was created by the Romans after the Romans destroyed the Jews in war, and that's the bottom line.